Hey everybody, it's John, East Tex Cameras. Real quick video today on talking about these older analog light meters. Now, sometimes you can just pick your poison. Do you want to deal with the analog light meter that's battery powered, and then you have to search a battery that probably utilized a mercury battery? They're no longer in production. Then you either have to get a zinc air battery with short life, or use different battery modifications, 3D printed and so forth. Or do you choose the selenium ones, where the reader up here, the selenium cell, may have deteriorated over the years and the accuracy is off. Well, here's what I do. I'm not saying this works on every light meter, but it has on most of them that I've ever used. And the one I'm using today is this Vivitar 45. It's an inexpensive. You can pick them up on eBay all day long for, I don't know, $10, $10 to $15, sometimes even less. And they're pretty good light meters. They tend to work real good. I like it because they're easy to read. But one of the issues is they use the old mercury. I think it's the 675 battery that's no longer available. In the mercury, you can get the We or whatever battery. They're about $8 a piece on Amazon, and they don't last very long. You can use modifications, but here's what I do. And I'll show you how easy it is. It doesn't take very long. What you're going to need is a soldering iron to solder one connection is all. You're going to put a diode in. I'll go through the whole thing, but here's the meter when it's completed. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. But there's the meter. Let me get it off. And the little yellow thing right there is where your battery check is going to be. So you can see it's pretty close in there, and I'm using an L44 battery. Easy to obtain, inexpensive. You can buy them off Amazon, cheap, cheap, cheap. Stick around. It's just easy, short video, easy to do, and I'm sure this will work on other light meters along the way. Stay tuned, and all the links are below for all the stuff that you're going to need. All right, what I have here is the Vivitar 45 taken apart. They're very simple on the inside, and this is, I don't know, I've not done very many of these light meters, but this is one of the easier ones simply because the positive side is right here, and that's where you're going to put this diode in. Now, a couple of things that you're going to need before you get started on this is simply a L44 battery. Now, you're going to get these out of China more than likely. As a matter of fact, I don't know any other place they're made other than China. And there's some variation on the voltage depending on how fresh they are and so forth. But my optimum voltage is somewhere around 1.6 volts, because that's going to get you, when your diode reduces the voltage down, that's going to be within a range that you're going to have very little offset, if any, as far as the accuracy of it. The diode that you're going to want is an N4148. And not going to get to different types of diodes and all that. All you need to know is it's just an N4148 diode. You can't buy one. You'll have to buy a package of them. They're cheap, cheap, cheap. You can get them off eBay, get them off Amazon, order them out of China, out of Banggood, and so forth. The only thing that you'll need to remember, other than you're looking for the positive side, is the diode, which you're not going to be able to see. Well, maybe you can make it out a little bit. But if you look closely, there's a little black ring on one end of that diode. Now, the black ring you're going to need to be putting where the positive side is. In other words, the way it runs, I'll go right back over here. We're going to go right through here, and we'll disconnect this wire right here, unsolder it. And of course, we're going to be clipping the diode wire relatively short. We'll just go ahead and we'll cut that. And then it'll be soldered in right here. The plus side, or that brown ring, black ring, is going to have to be connected to this side right here in order for your diode to reduce the voltage correctly. So in review, make sure the batteries that you're using are approximately 1.6 volt. Most of them are, but occasionally in your bag, you'll, in the little case you'll get them in, or sleeve, cardboard display, whatever, they could vary. Some of them don't come in but 1.4. Which is not going to work because we're going to reduce the voltage. But anywhere you're around 1.6, and by far the majority are, you'll need an N4148 diode. And always remember, your black ring is going to be going to the positive. So you're going to come in from your connector all the way through, and this will be tied on down here. All right, the modification has been complete. If you can see right down in there, that's where the diode is. The black is going up to this part right here. Easily reversible if you ever need to do that. Now, you put it back together, a couple of things that you want to remember is Make sure you have this thing right here. That's the lanyard. Make sure it's put back in there fine. And here's a little trick. On these Vivitar 45s, this is the incident reading dome, I guess you'd call it. And they have a bad habit of breaking down here. This is more of a, I guess, just a friction additive to make it slide and stay put. Most of the time, those are broken. So what I do is, this is jewelry box liner stuff. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, buy it off Amazon. I'll put a link down below if you have trouble hunting it. Just put a couple of strips on it like that, and that makes it slide back and forth extremely easy, and it stays in place. Well, that whole process, including tear down and put back together, the whole thing was probably 15 minutes. It's easy to do. Don't be scared of it. The parts are inexpensive. Like I say, the links are down below for all the diodes. If you don't have a soldering iron, there's an inexpensive soldering iron I've got linked down below. Everything you're going to need to put this together, including the LR44 batteries, if you don't have any, but you can pick those up at Walmart, Dollar Tree, almost anything. To meet again, this is John, East Tex Cameras. Get out in God's great outdoors and take some pictures.